Man. With the early access window of 2K26 being 8 days away as of the recording of this video, yes, they moved the date of early access from August 29th to August 26th. Today was the day that they decided to genuinely go insane with the retainment and the improvements that they've made to the game. There's too much that they went over. From new gameplay implementations, current gameplay changes, mode combinations, next year's scenery, and even more. Now, I know for a fact that for everyone here, there's some parts that they'll care about more than the others, and that even applies to me too, because there's going to be modes I won't be talking about like my NBA or my team, because those just aren't modes that I play. And I know some people won't care about that either. So I won't sit here and make you sit through the whole video, nor will I give you small information that genuinely could have been skipped. You can refer to the timestamps that I provide to skip around to the parts that you want to know more about, and I'll even pop those on the screen right now for you, just so you can know if this is a video that you want to watch or a video that you'd be interested in, or if you should go probably find someone that talked about the mode that you're interested in the most. Introductory things out the way though, let's get to everything that we've been told today about NBA 2K27. So I'm just gonna go based off the order that they went in the pre-recorded part of the live that they did today, if that makes sense in your head, and anything that was referenced that has some type of relevancy to the current part of the conversation will be referenced in and placed in as we need to go from the rest of the live.
The chat went crazy when expanded dribbling.
Naturally, of course, we're just gonna start with the general gameplay as a whole. One of the biggest changes that they made to general gameplay is that when it comes to dribbling packages, they've expanded it just like a lot of the members of the community have been requesting. As you heard them say, the packages have been broken up instead of all just being under one thing, like your escape is in one place and you have like 10 different animations in there, your crossovers in there and you have like 5 different animations there. It's all broken up into many different packages, and now you can pick and choose where you want to put them. I'm gonna throw all the options up on the screen right now, and I'm gonna let you pause to read them all so you can see what it is. They've been broken up completely though, with things like triple threat, escapes, crosses, behind the backs. They're all in different places. So now you have full control of every dribbling animation that you would want to do for your player. Okay, so now that we've got the dribbling out of the way, finishing has received a slight overhaul in itself. Alongside breaking up dribbling into different categories, layups have been separated from gathers and finishes as well. We already know layups were already separated into euros, hop steps, scoops, but now it's going to be even more dynamic in-game alongside the packages. It's basically like once you're coming downhill attempting to get to the cup, nothing is gonna look like the layup you just took a play ago, and it'll actually change based on the coverage that you're getting based on your rating instead of you actually doing it. That sounds bad, maybe a little bit, I don't know. We just gotta see how it's implemented. You know, none of us have touched a game yet. They're actually, you know, just now getting off the game themselves at Community Day, so who knows. But before we move on to the part that I'm genuinely ecstatic to talk about, I feel like I should just throw this in here right now. All dunks have to be timed this year, stick or button, so just keep that in mind too. It's no, yeah, I'm just gonna randomly backdoor and then yeah, just go up and say fuck it. No, you're gonna have to time it. So yeah, I just couldn't forget that while we're on the topic of something like this. But let's get to something that, me personally, I think a lot of people are gonna like, but a lot of people are also going to heavily dislike. So let's jump over to that now. So yeah, rhythm shooting. Rhythm shooting was one of those things in 26 that had very mixed receptions throughout the whole year. Some said it was easy, some said it was hard, but regardless of the opinion of it, rhythm shooting has returned in NBA 2K27, and they've made changes to it. At its core, rhythm shooting is still timing and tempo. Wait, damn, didn't I say the exact same thing last year? Whatever. Rhythm shooting is still timing and tempo. After that though, it is returning to how it was in NBA 2K25, to where you now have to time both the tempo and the green window timing of the shot correctly as well. But the thing is, this year, or in 27, it's gonna be the exact reverse of how it was this year. If you get your tempo correct, you'll still have a pretty decently sized green window. But if you fluke the tempo, you're gonna have a very small green window. It's going to significantly shrink the size of it compared to if you got the tempo correct. So this might actually kill rhythm shooting for a lot of people, but for the people that get it down, they will be most likely elite at it. Very elite. But that's really the only shooting change. They didn't really say anything else. So yeah, we'll discuss everything else about that when it gets to like the badges. All right, offensive based things out the way. Let's get into the defense now. Apparently, what they tell us is defense has gotten the same amount of love that offense normally gets, and we all know that we don't exactly hear that a lot. So let's get into this. Hands up contests have two versions. A right stick down version that gives you a weaker hands up where you really stay centered and just want to stay in front of somebody. And right stick up gives you a stronger hands up to result in a stronger contest, and once they shoot the ball, it'll give you a small jump to actually go towards the shot and get a stronger contest. So that's pretty nice. And the thing is, if you still want to try to send some shit to Timbuktu, you can still just jump at it with triangle or Y, depending on your console, and just say, fuck it. So they really tried to actually sit here and give what we've been asking for when it comes to hands up. And alongside that, bumps and blitz steals have been reworked to make a little more sense. But for this one, I'll just transfer this off to Baluba and Joe to explain what they said on the stream, because they got the insider on it, they've played the game, and they explained everything the best. Looking at that, I can only take their word for it, so I'm not even going to try to switch up what they said into my own words. I'll just let y'all see exactly what they said.
Bump steals, overall defensive movement. What's different? What can we look forward to?
Huge emphasis for us this year. It was defense. Defense is a lot faster. They spend a lot of time on body ups, improving coverage. Bump steals are very different. It's now trying to look at you as a defender, your skill ratings, and my ball handle ratings. It changes the outcome of what happens when you collide with the ball. So if you're a really good defender and you pop the ball, you'll probably get a bump steal. But if you're a really bad defender and you kind of graze the ball, then what will happen is the dribble will fumble the ball and recover it.
In 2K26, a lot of the dribble moves had different sensitivities to how the ball would pop out. Escape seemed almost, impossible to knock the ball loose. Behind the back seemed much easier to knock the ball loose. Has that been reworked at all in 2K27?
Yeah, so what we did was we did a collision check, but the new collision system and the fumbles and the steals, they all work the same way. Behind the backs and the escapes and all the dribble moves, they should behave similarly. As a defender, read the play, cut off the ball handler, reach at the right time if you want to pop the ball out.
Okay, so here, this is where we begin to shift into things for more of the MyCareer side of things. Here's something that's a little new for takeovers. So the way we know takeover to work now, it's you do anything, you fill up one bar for one perk, and yeah, you get takeover. Woohoo, you get your takeover ability. Yeah, it's not how it works anymore. The way takeover is going to work in 2K27 is that whatever you do corresponds to the bar that you're filling up. So finishing fills the finishing bar. Shooting the leather off that motherfucker fills up the shooting bar. Passing increases your playmaking bar, and defense fills up your defense bar. But the most dangerous part of this that might get a little scary when you playing somebody that's like having a generational legacy game is that you can have multiple takeovers popped at once. So if you guys played, let's see, 2K23, 2K22, was it in 2K21? Can't really remember. Might have been, might not have been. But I know in 2K19, you played games like that. Yeah, you guys know how crazy like double takeover got. This gives you the potential to have maybe triple or quadruple. If you're in your bag it can get scary. It can get really scary. But now I'm saying that there'll be 24 different takeover abilities, which are all on the screen now for you to pause and look at as you need to. And once you finish looking at that, we're going to jump into actually what's going on inside of MyCareer now. Moving into the MyCareer side, like I said, we were kind of, warming up to do with the takeover. Here's some things that might be very intriguing to you guys. For my storyline or my offline MyCareer players, even though I just said the same thing twice, basically, my little stupid ass. This one might be beautiful for you guys. MyCareer now has it to where you can drop your player into any era of the past and play through like it's that time. Whether it be the Magic versus Bird era, the Jordan era, the Kobe era, the Bron era, or the Steph era. It takes the rosters, the rules, the playstyles, and even the look of that time period. It's a completely new take on what the normal MyCareer experience would be like, and it's great to shake things up from the norm. Putting your player in with history to make your own MyCareer history, yeah, my little corny ass, through the many accolades of the past is sure to be great for anyone who loves modes like this. But now, let's get to the nitty-gritty and what might be the longest section of this video. The builder. But first off, I really don't even want to talk about the builder in-game itself. And I mean in-game very literally. Coming Friday, August 21st, is the 2K Headquarters app. And inside of this 2K Headquarters app, you can already begin to make your builds for NBA 2K27. Like, is that not insane? Like, that's crazy. Now, next, after this, because that's its own thing, this year you can create a female MyPlayer. They're finally in the game, and they have zero limitations just because they're female. It is purely cosmetic, and they can be built exactly like the male MyPlayers. That's something great for my women out there. Happy for y'all. I'm really happy for y'all. But now let's get into the actual builds themselves. For the preset build users, ProTuned and NBA templates have been combined into one spot called Signature Blueprints, giving you the ProTuned and NBA player feel all in one time. What it'll do is it'll basically take 3 players from the NBA and the WNBA and take their similar playstyles and blend it into a build for you to take and use, with 40 of them that will be ready to go off rip when the game drops and more that will get dropped seasonally. Now, for the regular builder though, this is where we got some shit that's shaking everything up. For starters, legend badges are unobtainable by attributes alone completely. They can only be obtained by what this year's Max Plus 1 and Max Plus 2 system is, but I'll explain that in a few seconds. But before I actually sit here and explain that, I'll sit here and talk about the new badges that we have, since there are some new ones grouped in with the returning ones. So first off, let's take a look at the shooting badges. Returning are Post-Fade Phenom, Deadeye, Limitless Range, and Mini Marksman. But now we have new badges to get rid of Set Shot Specialist. We're gonna take that and make it Set and Fire, which applies a shooting boost to 3-point shots when the player's feet are completely set, and Static Midi, which applies a shooting boost to standstill mid-range shots. New to the game also is Arc Cadence and Smooth Operator, which for Arc Cadence, it approves the player's ability to knock down 3-point shots on the move, including pull-ups, hop steps, or spin shots, and Smooth Operator basically does the same thing but for mid-ranges. And Quick Trigger just improves your ability to make no dips. That's all that it is for shooting. After shooting badges, we go on to the finishing, which doesn't really have that many new badges, it only has 2. Aerial Wizard, Float Game, Layup Mixmaster, Paint Prodigy, Physical Finisher, Posterizer, Rise Up, Hook Specialist, Post Powerhouse, all returning. New, we have Post Spin Catalyst, which is attempting post spins or drives results in more effective moves and less of a chance to be stripped, which I believe is replacing Post Up Poet. And Ghost Stepper, which increases the effectiveness of step-through layups or other close-range shots that come after a shot fake, which is added for the new step-through move that they just implemented into the game this year. For playmaking, we literally have basically all the same badges, just with a new one. Bailout, Break Starter, Dimer, Versatile, Ankle Assassin, Handles for Days, Lightning Launch, Strong Handle, Unpluckable. Everything that we're basically already used to. But now we have a new badge called Pace, which raises the speed of the ball handler when sprinting. Which kinda makes me wonder what's Lightning Launch and Pace at one time gonna be like. You know what? Hey, I got too many questions. Whatever. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. Totally. Yeah, let's just get to the defensive badges though. So for the defensive badges, we got a few new ones. There's already the originals that we already had, like Off-Ball Pest, High Flying, Paint Patroller, Post Lockdown, Pick Dodger, Challenger, Immovable, Glove, and Interceptor. But now, we're getting Wall Up, which improves shot contest effectiveness during hands-up defense in the paint. Ankle Braces is returning from... Damn, when was the last year Ankle Braces was in the game? I don't remember the last time it was in the game, but it's a returning badge. And we have Seatbelt, which boosts body up defense effectiveness, making it easier to clamp opponents and disrupt their drive path. So, if they really made defense and made these badges work the way that they do, everything is gonna have a counter. Offense has a defensive counter, defense has an offensive counter. If this works correctly, they actually did something great with the system of this game. Now, rebounding and physicals, they are already very short lists in themselves, so I'll just combine these two together. For rebounding, it's a complete rework, because last year, I'm pretty sure all we had was Box Out Beast and Rebound Chaser. So now we have Crasher, which boosts the player's ability to grab or track down rebounds on offense, and Possession Closer, which boosts the player's ability to grab rebounds on defense. Meaning you cannot just upgrade one rebound stat to high as hell and get Rebound Chaser on Legend and think you can just snag somebody on the other end. You now have to have both rebounds upgraded if you want to be effective as hell with both. Now there's Sink Snatcher, which gives an additional vertical and rebounding boost when you perfectly time your jump. Box Out Boss literally just replaces Box Out Beast, and Breaker also replaces Box Out Beast. Yeah, that's probably going to be a strength thing, maybe. I really don't know what the requirement is going to be on that, because that honestly sounds like the same thing. Maybe that would be a strength thing, I don't know. But physicals returning are Slippery Off Ball and Pogo Stick. Also returning, but from a completely different year, is Workhorse, which increases your player's speed and ability to get loose balls. Now there's Flash, which speeds up movement without the ball while in transition. Bruiser is also returning, which drains energies from opponents when you're making contact, aka bumping them or just running into them, period. And Brick Wall is also returning, which just increases the effectiveness of screens. And that's all the badges that are in NBA 2K27. So now that we got all the badges actually listed, now we can actually get into what the system is. The badge system is very reminiscent to the NBA 2K22 and 2K23 badge system, basically giving you badge points that you have to pick and choose where to put them instead of just getting the attribute and having everything unlocked. And now that I said that, we can spin back to the legend badge thing, since now that we know what the badges are, they're only obtained through the badge synergy system, which actually expands on our current Max Plus 1 and Max Plus 2 system. Now, the thing about this synergy system is it's so much like 2K23's badge floor. What was it called? No, it was something where you could lock a badge in and you could get the points back. It's literally so much like that. And as we see, I truly forgot what it was. So I'll just leave them to explain it for it to truly make sense to you guys.
Yes, okay, we're gonna get to Legend Badges then. Legend Badges this year, they do come from the new badge synergy system. So let's explain this one. There are a total of 16 of these slots. 12 of the slots give a Max Plus 1 boost, and 4 of them give a Max Plus 2 boost. And the way it works is, a synergy is broken into 2 parts. Got a Fuse badge and a Reaction badge. The Fuse badge gets a Max Plus 1 or a Max Plus 2 boost for the entire game, pushing that badge beyond its max potential, and that is how you can go even beyond Hall of Fame to get a Legend badge. Now, when you put a badge into that fuse slot, it is also going to free up the badge tokens you would have otherwise spent to equip it, so that's another cool perk as well. The other part we mentioned is called a reaction badge. And that badge's max +1 or max +2 boost is going to trigger automatically after you've activated your fuse badge for a set number of times during a game. So they're linked together. And once it's activated, that reaction badge is going to get the same max +1 or max +2 boost for the rest of that game. So hopefully that makes sense. I know there's a lot, but as you get into the builder, it is going to make sense. And again, we are going to be answering questions, Q&A this week on Discord at discord.gg/NBA2K as well. If anything we mentioned didn't fully make sense to you, drop your questions in there. We're going to be keeping an eye out as well throughout this week.
Last thing with the builder, kind of like, the smallest part of it. Cap breakers are returning, and they work just like 26, so yeah, not really much to explain there. So we can just break off to the last part of this video now, which is gonna be the city.
Hey, what's happening? Let's go get a run in, man.
Let's run it. Let's get going.
Man, you know I'm down. Come on, let's do this.
Let's do it, gang.
Yo, I got guns in all of the counties. Brown and white like a bounty. And plus your brownie shot me, telling me her boyfriend's lousy. Talk of the town. Me, I'm the talk of the town. And I'm one. Don't talk living. They know that's Auntie gang. Yo, I'm the talk of the town. Me, I'm the talk of the town. All they girls want deal with a pack. When I get low all over the map. Designer from my head to my feet. Designer from my chest to her knees. I get the all I came from the UK. Got on yes coming from ID. Talk of the town. Me, I'm the talk of the town. Talk of the town. Right side talk of the town. Yo, I'm the talk of the town. Me, I'm the talk of the town. Girls want you with a pack. And I get low all over the map. Says she want BRB. That's risky business. Can't bump you locking up our keys. And you know, see the drip on feet. Might see me in town, might see me on telly. So don't bust like Stephen Kenny. Got plenty girls and Dublin toxic. Still up the ones and
All right, who we got next?
It's time to hoop.
Man, check out the ball.
talk of the town. Me, I'm the talk of the town. Talk of the town. My side talk of the town. Yo.
Okay, so for the city, it's a lot of small things that just come together into one thing. So this is really gonna be like a list type format thing. So first off, the general city area, it's the same as it is in 2K26, since it was really positively received about like the small size, the store location, separation from the park, so there's not really like people going in there and just standing there. They kept it the same because it's like, okay, it was well received, let's just reuse it. Cool. Street Kings has 3 courts, one of them being Rucker Park. So yeah, it still works exactly the same like it does in 2K26. The theater, it's in the same environment from the outside, but once you walk in and get on the court, it's now in a new environment, outdoor courts, same functionality. The stage is in a new environment, that's, rare. And it's on top of a nighttime rooftop with a beautiful backdrop, so that's some great scenery. The parks will actually be rotating seasonally again, and this year, the throwback parks are going to be the NBA 2K17 versions of Sunset, Rivet, and Old Town. And alongside those, there will be 4 brand new park locations that we actually have some small glimpses of in this current trailer. The Rec, it also has more environments as well, those being a high school gym, a private gym, a seasonal themed gym like we have now in 2K26, a packed ass crowded arena, and even an outdoor style court. This right here is probably going to be the longest part out of this list. Crews are returning, and they have been immensely expanded. They have the same level structure, but now they also gain 5 every season. So, the first season is going to be 40, season 2 is going to be 45 levels, season 3 it's going to be 50 levels, so on and so forth. So if you can get your crew fast, get in there fast, because it might be hell if you get in there later. It might be really hell. But alongside that, crews also now function as Pro-Am for this year. And alongside that, your crew now has its own specialized HQ where everyone in the crew can go in, shoot around, socialize, play against each other, and load up to play against other teams. And like I said, technically, crews is like Pro-Am now. and there is going to be a ranking system within that mode. So just keep that in mind. If you really want to be one of those crews that's going at somebody's head or going at other crews' head, it's time. This is where you lock in to do that at. But that's really the biggest changes to that, and I really would love to see how this is implemented. Overall, NBA 2K27 has a lot of things that they were ready to give us to make sure that it's a long year of enjoyment for us. As long as they keep the very big elephant in the room controlled that we all know what it is, it looks like the year is set to be a very promising one. With that being said though, it's time for me to get up out of here. But if you have anything that you're still questioning that I thought was a smooth skip, or you think that I didn't explain enough, all the Courtside reports are going to be linked in the description, and you can also join the official NBA 2K Discord to ask any questions for them to answer in there. Or you could just @Mike Wang on Twitter and pray to God he responds. But now that I've said that, I'm actually out of here now, and I will catch you boys on the 26th for an NBA 2K27 Early Access live stream. I will catch y'all on the other side. Peace out, ladies and gentlemen. Peace out.